In this video, I want to talk about graphing the investment opportunity set and finding the appropriate investment to give me a certain return, and based on that return, what will my risk be? So you may remember the term the efficient frontier from your portfolio management course or from your 4000 course. So we have here the different possibilities if I put different amounts of money in stock X or stock Y. So if I have all my money in stock X, I'm right here, all my money in stock Y right there. I would never want to be invested at this point because for the exact same risk, I could get more return. So the the efficient frontier would be just the top half of this, right? So that's where I would want to invest. But we'll be able to draw that line. So how do I go about drawing that line? Well, it's graphing just like what you've done in your high school math classes. I need the weight of X and the weight of Y. In order for me to be able to do this, I need to know the return of X, the expected return of X, expected return of Y, which we've already shown in a previous video, and I need to know the covariance of X and Y. I need to know the variance or the risk of X, the variance or the risk of Y. So what will I plot? Well, it can be all, it depends on how much of this line you want to show. So just on a piece of paper here, say I'll put 100% in X, that means zeros in Y, because the weight of X plus the weight of Y equals 1, right? The amount of money you have in each one of them has equal 1. So maybe we'll put 0.7 here, that means that would be 0.3, 0.5, 0.5, 0.3, this would be 0.7, and this would be 0, and this would be 1. So whatever points you want to plot. And then on my x-axis is risk. So I need the volatility of the portfolio, not the variance of the portfolio, but the volatility of the portfolio. And then on my y-axis is return. So I want to have the return of the portfolio. And now I'm just doing some long and tedious math, actually. And I don't have the numbers here for you to see. We'll do that in an Excel video later. But basically what I do is I take this 1, plug it in for Wx, 0, plug it in for Wy. I know return of X, return of Y. I find the point right there. I take the 1 for Wx and Wx, the 0 for Wy and Wy. I know the variance of X, Y. I know the covariance. I find this plot. So I find all those points, and then I just graph them. So that's getting the graph. And that graph is something that's really cool to show your clients. You can say, here's your investment opportunity set, and for a 15%, you want 15% risk, you can get a return of, I can't really look at that. I don't know what that number is exactly. Well, if I have a return of 15%, you'll have to have a risk of this, and exactly how much, that's where we get the nitty-gritty details. If I want to be at 15% return, I'm right there. Well, what percent is that in X, and what percent is that in Y? Well, the way I do that, I know the return of the portfolio, and this E is expected return, so I'm going to drop the E for expectations. Just put it there to be technically correct, but it's easier to write this and say return portfolio, which my expected return, because it's the future, is equal to Wx Rx plus, well, Wy is equal to 1 minus Wx, and then the return on Y. Alright, so the client tells me they want a 15% return. I know the return on X, return on Y. I need to solve for Wx. I need to get this number out right here. Well, how do I do that? Let's do that with algebra you've done before. So the return on the portfolio is equal to Wx, return on X, plus, that's Ry, minus Wx, Ry, just doing a little bit of math here, Wx equals, because this Ry comes over, Rp minus Ry divided by Rx minus Ry. So I know the return of X, return of Y, I know the return on the portfolio. The client says this is what I want. That gives me the weight of X. Let's just say that comes out to be 63%. No, whatever the numbers are, if it comes out to be 63%, then the weight of Y is going to be 37%, right? It's going to be 1 minus that. So I take these percentages, plug them in here for WX and WY, and I then find the variance of the portfolio, take the square root, it'll give me the covariance, it'll give me that number right there. So 15%, it'll come out to be between 10 and 15. It looks like it's closer to 12 to me. But that's the math that you want to do. And you see the math is tedious, of course. That's why we want to use Excel, to be able to graph this thing with a lot of precision. And we use Excel so we don't have to do these calculations 100 times a day.